Hey guys, God bless. Welcome back to my channel. I am Charlene, and today we're going to talk about marriage and God. I posted on my community feed the question: do you guys believe that God has ever matched individuals together? Do you believe he is a matchmaker now? Do you believe you have the power of choice? Do you believe there's a mixture of both, meaning that, you go about your own will and way to pick or choose your spouse, and then God just simply keeps your marriage? I asked this question for multiple reasons. One, I had this conversation before with my husband based on a post that someone posted probably about maybe a good 2.5 years ago. I'm not going to, put the actual content or context out there because I know a lot of local people now follow me and my husband. But the gist of it was someone was remarrying. And they were justified. This isn't an issue because their spouse had deceased, so they can remarry. That is black and white in the Bible. There is no confusing that. Like if your spouse dies, you can remarry. So this person did. I think the issue morally with everyone was how soon. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, the spouse hadn't even been dead a month. And they were already saying they wasn't dating and going through the process. They were married in a month. And a lot of people was trying to justify on their behalf, saying that God doesn't play matchmaker. We marry and choose as we please. And then some people were just saying, because of the person's position, that it simply did not look well as a Christian. So I'm asking you guys, I want everybody to pitch in an opinion. If you have scriptures, that would be wonderful and great to back up your thoughts. But I definitely want to have this conversation with you guys because if you guys haven't noticed, I like intriguing ideas and concepts. I love questions and dialogue that are out of the ordinary. Like, I'm just different, and I ask a lot of emotionally jerking questions, which often irritates my husband. But I like to look at it like this. I want to see if we can expand our mentality and our mindsets outside of ABC, not in a bad way. I know where to draw the line. Some may argue that, but I would say that a question like this is simply to help you make a sound decision in your own life and in the event that someone actually came to you for advice, because this is lacking in the Christian community. A lot of people are publicly posting opinions and thoughts, but how many are actually given the gift of counseling for the Christian body? This is where it becomes dangerous, because a lot of people that's speaking and giving advice, God ain't never told them to open their mouth to these people and say any of the things that they call truth, which is just simply their opinion. Me personally, when I first heard this situation break, because I know the family involved very well from sandbox age. And me, I initially said, this doesn't look good. And then I began to think, well, could it have possibly felt any better to the individuals involved? And maybe not. But what came to my mind was, if you cannot control yourself, it's best for you to go ahead and get married. And I would think that being this person's position, that they did what was best for them. And I have no quarrels about that part. But again, publicly coming out, because you guys could have been reserving the marriage privately for just a little while longer. I don't know. That would just been me. Like, if I felt like I couldn't wait, my flesh is burning, then I probably would have went ahead and got married privately, because that's kind of what me and my husband did. And then we came out and said, hey guys, we're married. Because you don't, at that point, you're not entitled to anyone per se. And nobody is like, we don't have people that attentively in our business. Like, we weren't involved in the church or anything. Like, we were just us at that time. But anywho, now that I'm thinking about it, and the post that arose in the Christian group about, I know God said this is my husband, but I don't like him. We actually have to dissect that like part. Is it something about his physical appearance, his behavior, his values? Like, that part is unsure, which I would say that matters. But how far, to what extent can we say, okay, well, if you don't like how this person carries themselves, you don't like how they look, then they're not for you. Because naturally, in the beginning, I had no interest in Jacob whatsoever, like none. I did not look at him that way. And when I say, and I'm not calling him unattractive or anything, I'm just saying, like, nothing in me was looking at him and saying, this is my husband. God has given me this husband. Nothing. And I wasn't looking, and I want to make that clear too. I wasn't looking either. I literally was in a season where I'm like, God, I don't want to date. I don't want to talk to nobody right now. It's just me and you. And then here he comes. And I'm like, initially I'm thinking, okay, this is just a test to see if I'm really willing to surrender and submit to God completely. But obviously, long story short, he is my husband. Me and husband both agree that God definitely put us together, because we would not have chosen each other for ourselves. But that's our opinion. That's our statement towards our marriage. Do I feel like, obviously, let me be clear, because I know people are so anal about talking about stuff like this. Listen, I got to come in close and talk to you so you can see all my gray hairs and stuff. But no, this is obviously not a heaven or hell issue. I know this. This doesn't mean that we cannot talk about stuff. We're human beings. I just want to say that. I'm not putting anybody in hell. I'm not condemning no one. I don't want to feel convicted either. Like, I'm just talking, and this is just conversation. Let me just say that. But anyway, I have this perspective that I know God put us together. I know this because it wouldn't have been through our own means and our own will. Why? Because all things work out for the good of those who love the Lord, for righteousness' sake. And I paraphrase that horribly, but you guys should know what I'm talking about. I say this because through us being together, we have blended a family, which is a example for others who are watching us and onlooking. We are a very public married couple. We both carry ourselves in a matter where God is first. We believe in a structural home, which is biblical: God, man, woman, children. We have a church and a church family. Well, he has a church and church family. There's the ministries, what I do here online, what he does. He was the one backtrack. I was the one that told him to get involved with ministries online. He had no desire in his heart to do anything on an online basis. He strongly, wholeheartedly wants to preach traditionally, which is in a church. I kept saying, this is 20, whatever it was. This is a new time. Get the job done. Don't wait for a perfect ideal, what you want. Get the job done. You don't know who, what, how you will reach. You don't know what's necessary and needed in this world. Just get the job done, and God will work out the rest. And lo and behold, he now has an actual church, and he has his online ministry. But because he came to YouTube, he paved the way for me. And y'all may say, that don't even make sense, because he got 600 subscribers and your channel got 10,400. He was on YouTube first. And because he tried it and he was figuring out he was doing it, and he gave me the idea to market my hair products this way, because that's how it started. If y'all remember way back when, it started with me promoting my own business. And then it turned into a whole hobby of interest. And now it is a source of income, bare minimum, but it is. And it moved and paved the way for me to also project my faith. So now we're actually picking back and helping each other. Like I started making him, well, not making him, I started requesting that he do Bible study with me, with my people, and my people now become his people. And now we're one big happy family. So I know that was all God, because we would have never, we're so not people persons. I would have never came to YouTube if it wasn't because of him. He wouldn't have came to YouTube if it wasn't because of me. So I know God put us together. That's what's in my heart for my situation. But I have to admit, do I feel like this is a set in stone thing? I don't know. But I want to talk to you guys, and I want to get you guys' opinion. I want you guys to drop your comments below, and hopefully and prayerfully, sometime in the future, me and my husband can go live about this. But the question arises is simple. I just be all over with my words and stuff. It's such a horrible thing. But pray for me. Do you believe God is putting people together? And I want the answer to past. Do you think God put people together in the past? Or do you think he only does it now? Do you think we all have a freedom of choice and we make that decision? Or do you think what I'm leaning on, which is God has people for people. He has man for woman. Let me be clear, because I don't believe in the other stuff. I believe that for everybody that is meant to be married according to God's will, God has the person for them. But because of choice, people choose incorrectly and make mistakes. And then we then have to live outside of God's perfect will. And now we're in his alternate will, which is still his will, which I probably ain't explaining it right, but pretty much saying like this. If God intended me to marry Jacob, but I decided to not even marry him and marry somebody else, and that person, I'm married them for the rest of my life, but remember, initially I was supposed to be married to Jacob. Jacob obviously doesn't stay single. He goes marry somebody else, but he still goes and pursue his will as a minister or pastor. And I'm still holy because I'm in my marriage. This doesn't deem as necessarily bad, but it wasn't what God intended. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I just need y'all to comment. Let me know. What do you guys think? I want paragraphs from you guys. And I definitely want to hear from the men. I want to hear from you guys. Every man that watches this, please comment and say something. Everybody, I want to hear, because I think this will be a good Bible study and a good topic for us. And I promise we're going to behave. So let me know what you think. Love you guys. God bless. Take care. Bye.